I like Michael Bay. I like Michael Bay a lot, and I think, like, you know, for the most part, his visual aesthetic would actually fit in line with Zach. We got to remember that him and Zach went to the same film school. They were within that same. I think they were not in the same years, but they almost overlapped each other. Like, they know each other from that film school in Pasadena. But now we gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about this because I don't know what's happening. Who's gonna be next in line? I mean, are we gonna find out that? This is the second director. I mean, we already knew that Christopher McQuarrie pitched a Man of Steel sequel. We already heard about that, so that wasn't anything really new. We just got more info. He just gave a little bit more details when it came to that. But how about a Michael Bay Man of Steel 2? What? That's right, a Michael Bay Man of Steel 2. Before hiring James Gunn and Peter Safran, Warner Brothers reportedly considered Michael Bay to direct a new standalone Henry Cavill Superman film in 2022. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? I can. Slightly. That could have been a disaster, but it would have looked good. When I saw that, I went, holy shit. Can you imagine that? Michael Bay directing a Superman movie. Now, it would probably be a little shallow. It wouldn't be, I don't know, the story. I don't know how good the story would be, but then again, I'm like, well, as long as somebody else writes the story and he just shoots that story, fine. But then I'm kind of going like, okay, but how many, is like Superman just like after he, punches some Kryptonian guy in the face, he's going to grab a Bud Light, or something. I don't know. It's like Michael Bay is like, I like Michael Bay. I like Michael Bay a lot. And I think, like, for the most part, his visual aesthetic would actually fit in line with Zach. We got to remember that him and Zach went to the same film school. They were within that same, I think they were not in the same years, but they almost overlapped each other. Like, they know each other from that film school in Pasadena. So they do have similar styles. They both came from directing commercials. So they do have similar styles when it comes to that. So I part of me is going, yeah, that could have worked. But then part of me goes, yeah, but all the Bayisms, so many Bayisms after we've had like these subtle, like we had these, the Snyderisms are one thing, but Snyder has always been, hey, I want to tell the story. Bay has just been more about the sauce, more, the substance, I guess you could say, than or style over substance. I don't know, that whole fucking thing when people talk about that, I don't know. There's like the style over substance. Bay is way more style. Snyder is style for sure. Substance, I would say that Snyder has way more substance. Bay doesn't have that much substance when it comes to his. I don't know, but I think it could have worked. Could have worked, but also it could have been a disaster as well. It's like one of those things where I'm at a loss, where I'm going, maybe in another universe I would actually want to see that. Maybe in another universe, go to that timeline where that actually was a thing. But then at the same time, remember, they were also going to be tapping him for a Lobo movie, which I thought, well, that really works, just because that character is just absolutely, just the way that character is, that's just right up Michael Bay's alley. Superman, on the other hand, I don't know, it's pretty interesting, but could have made something with it.